Hi, everybody. Welcome to At This Moment with me, Jim Jefferies. I'm here with Amos Gill. We are recording 2 episodes at once because we're about to be on the road. So if you're listening to this first episode, come and see us in Hawaii. Well, come and see me in Hawaii. I'll be in Maui and in Honolulu this Friday and this Saturday. And then come and see me in Europe because I will be gigging for, I think, 60 cities I'm coming to across Europe. Amos, what are you up to?
I'm in Montreal for the Just for Laughs Festival. Today, when this comes out for you, I think it's Wednesday, come and see me at Café Cléopâtre. I'm doing a solo show there.
It's a fun room, Café Cléopâtre. I've been up there. I think it's normally a strip club, isn't it?
I think it's a burlesque club or something like that now. Yeah. So today's podcast, as Jim said, we're recording a long one. I don't even know what's going to be cut in there, but I imagine it's going to be something like the Coldplay cheating affair.
That's going to be there.
The role of dwarfs in entertainment.
Well, that's always in an episode.
The axing of Stephen Colbert. How politically motivated is it? Is it just a sign of changing times, or is it in fact the creeping hand of fascism?
And of course, we'll be mentioning Bonnie Blue as always. Yeah. But besides that, we'll also be talking to Derek from The Snake. He's this week's Snake. Check out The Snake on Fox. Also, I got a special coming out August. What's the fucking date, man? August 12th on Netflix. 2 Limb Policy. Let's start the show, baby. I'm well lit as a candle. All right. What do we got to talk about at this moment?
All right. There's obviously one thing the whole world's talking about. I've been in green rooms in Montreal.
Yeah.
And it's fun to discuss at every moment is the couple from US tech company astronomer being caught on camera having an affair at the Coldplay concert.
I found out about this while I was doing Howie Mandel's podcast, and he actually had the clip and pulled it up. At first, you just go to kiss cam, right? They're going around the different people.
On the jumbotron.
There's a couple, and you can tell that they're not married because they look super in love, right?
At an older age.
At an older age. Like, they're holding each other, and like it's a $1 billion company. He's the CEO. She's the head of HR, I believe. Maybe not the head, but she's in HR.
She's the HR head.
She's the
Andy
HR head.
Bryan and HR head Kristen Cabot.
And they were very clearly a couple, but it turns out they were having an affair. And
it was so crazy because it's just the reaction gave it away. So if you are out with your side piece, and you go on the camera, all we were discussing is what would you actually do? Because he folded like a deck chair, dude. He just immediately drops to the floor and she puts her hands over her head like she's so ashamed, which is the giveaway. If they just swayed with the music and he gave her a peck on the cheek, no one would have.
There would have been enough people in the stadium that they still would have been caught. But they wouldn't have been caught by the world.
Yes, but here's what we were discussing was, okay, if you do go on there, you got to do something better than drop to the floor. So this was my solution.
You clip her heels with your foot so she falls over.
Yeah, I would have gone for, I'm so drunk, and your arms are around her and you give her like a noogie and you're like, we're having a crazy company day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you rope in someone else.
I would have given her a dead leg.
100%. It probably would have been better for his marriage if he like elbowed her or something.
Yeah, a Chinese burn. You call them Chinese burns in America? You call them Indian burns. I don't know why that's more offensive. Why are they called Chinese burns and Indian burns? Why can't they just be called skin twisters or something like that? Why do we have to be racist with the burns?
Something horrible's happening to me. It's those foreigners.
They're eating our dogs. They're giving us arm burns. Yeah.
I still can't believe they call it telephone.
Like now because society has moved on, it's actually called Guardian's burns. Oh, good. Yeah, good.
So, Andy Bryan and HR head Kristen Cabot.
Well,
they've been put on leave by the company.
Were you at the show that so I do a meet and greet after my show.
Mm-hmm.
And after the show, you've seen me do these meet and greets and you've been involved in them. And when what happens is people come up and you go, all right, let's get a group photo with a whole group of you, or a couple's photo. Then I do individual photos, so you can have one for your social media, or one if you're a couple, or one if you break up, you get whatever, right? Mm-hmm. I take as many different combinations of photos. This couple walks up and they're like, oh, we'll just have individual ones. I went, no, come on, you've lined up. Come on, just a memento of the day. Come on, let's have a couple's photo. And the guy's like, we're having an affair. We'll just have individual photos. right?
Who's going to a meet and greet?
Who has an affair and goes to the meet and greet?
It's insane.
And then gets individual photos of each and then just be like, oh, I saw Jenny was also at the concert. Oh, I didn't see her, was he? Oh, I just went by myself.
This will be a momentous occasion for side pieces around the world everywhere, because I think from now on, anyone who's having an affair, someone's like, let's go out for dinner. Everyone will go, it's the rule of Coldplay.
Yeah. The side pieces have lost what little freedom they had. They used to be able to go out to a dimly lit restaurant and sit in a corner, but it's too risky. It's too many cameras everywhere. Postmates and leave it at the door.
Yeah, let me tell you,
at the door. We're not
today
answering.
Is a great day to buy stock in Holiday Inn Express.
Yeah.
People are going back to the Holiday Inn, put the concert footage on the YouTube on the TV, and close the door, draw the curtain.
Yeah. And if you can't afford Holiday Inn stock, Hampton Inn. It's all good stuff.
I'm looking, or go the DoubleTree, have a chocolate chip cookie.
No,
treat
the DoubleTree.
You're already cheating on your wife. Why not you diet as well?
I won't have a bad word said about the DoubleTree. You can buy my loyalty with a chocolate chip cookie, and also it's sat in a warmer. Like if there was a hotel that offered you a hero sandwich of a good quality, Jersey Mike's upwards, right? That would be my new hotel of choice.
Maybe a slider. You can't do a full. You don't want a full hero.
No, 6 inches, not like a full hero.
I think just a slider.
I've just gotten to the counter and then they hand me a sandwich. You know how fast I eat.
Chocolates on your pillow.
Yeah. On my pillow, they can leave a slider on my pillow. That's a late night snack.
That's the turn down service.
You turn down services. You get a slider, and you like, of course, when you check in, you go chicken, beef or veggie, so that they know your profile. That would be on your Marriott's Bonvoy account.
You can only do, I think, chocolate chip cookie. Like if you go to a hotel and they go, "Thanks for being a loyal member. Here's a short stack of pancakes for your loyalty." Like,
my wife made pancakes this morning and brought them into bed with just a bottle of maple syrup. Fuck, it's a messy food to eat on your stomach, isn't it? But heaven, I just want to big up to me wife. I won't be having an affair at Coldplay anytime soon. She bought herself a few more days with those pancakes. Well done, love.
Have you seen the statement from the man who got caught?
What did he say?
He's kind of had a vague diss at Coldplay.
Okay.
So let me just pull this up. He's essentially saying in his statement that, because Coldplay came back and said they're going to put in a affairs section of the stadium where the camera won't go. You know,
also, is Coldplay running out of material? Comedians do this with Q&As at the end of shows. Just do a kiss cam. My voice can only hold out for 15 songs this tour. Kiss cam it up. I saw Motley Crue used to do a boob camera, and then people with their phone cameras ruined that. So now we can only go to kiss cam. Anyway, so the guy released a statement.
Yeah, he's, it's the classic, I've disappointed my family, my friends, the company. This is not the culture that we want. I mean, the fact that it's a HR, which is the most hated of all the divisions in every company, you've got to think there'd be people that work there where the CEO, who looks like a swami prick, and this woman in HR who's probably fired everyone.
Smarmy. I think some people thought you said the word swami. Smarmy. Did you say swami?
I did say swami.
Yeah, swami's a different thing. Swami.
What's swami?
Swami's he's like of Indian descent or something like that, or Arabic. I don't know. I don't use the word.
Oh yes, Ramaswamy. I know. I'm thinking.
Yeah, I know it's a derogatory term. You meant to say smarmy.
Smarmy, that's what I meant.
Fucking hell, lucky I'm here. I'm the safety net for your career now, am I?
Yeah. So you'd think if you worked at that company, it's got to be one of the great days to see the HR woman having an affair with, which a lot of people are saying, a younger woman inside the team who was brought along. And some people are saying that looks like a menage a trois that was going to happen.
Okay, there seem to be other people in the group. There seemed to be a big group of them there. So they went in a group. It wasn't a closed secret that they were having an affair. There was several people who knew about the affair. So they must have been going for a very long time. Also, I want to give it up for this. She looked like an age-appropriate woman. Normally when people have affairs, they go young. I don't know how old his wife is. Maybe she's 80. Maybe he's going downwards.
And here we are once again saying, the men of the world have listened And now when you cheat on your wife,
I'm saying with Jeff Bezos and this guy with the age-appropriate women, I just want to just give it up for men and all the good we're doing, and how fucking noble we have been in the media of late. Like, give it up for us. We're not all bad guys.
To have an affair with another menopausal woman is so much growth.
Well, the good thing is it looked like he wasn't going to be able to get her pregnant, which is always the best thing with an affair. You can't be. That's always ruins a family.
Here's what he's written. I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment that it's caused. I'd say it's caused a lot of joy, quite frankly. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy has turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. I'd like to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team and Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, a father, and a leader. This is not who I am. I cannot believe that I have to come out publicly now and admit that I am a fan of Coldplay.
Did he say that?
No.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been good. He should have ended with, look, relationships. Nobody said it was easy.
Well, he does go for a little bit of that, Jim, because he writes, I want to express how troubling it is. So this is him throwing shade at the band, right? Like, I know I'm having the affair, but Chris Martin's out of line. He goes,
that was a Coldplay.
That it's troubling that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once sang, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
Right.
What's he tried to do there?
Yeah.
You know?
Look, I'm just glad he wasn't, talking about racism or something and they were all yellow. And there's nothing wrong with it.
And there's nothing
wrong with it.
Yeah. So he's probably going to get forced out of his company for this. He's been put on a permanent leave. Everyone's diving deep on the wife who has she had the hyphen name and she's removed his part of the hyphen.
I always look, okay, so like Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the basketball player, right? So his mother was a Gilgeous and his father was an Alexander or vice versa. Look, at that stage, I'm just like, oh, you name the bloody kids then. Because what happens if Shea Gilgeous-Alexander meets another headstrong woman who wants to have her last name on the name? So then she'll be Karen Gilgeous-Alexander Davidson or something.
Yeah, Smythe Westcott. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what are we doing here? It's too much. But
I had an idea for that actually. What do you think of this? Instead of taking the wife, the man's name immediately,
like your mother's maiden name was Full to the.
What, full to the brim?
Yeah, no. What would be your whole name then? Full to the gill.
Full to the gill. I see.
Go fuck yourself.
I'm sorry. I just thought you were making some sexually explicit remark about my mother, and I was thinking my.
And your mother's maiden name was filled full of cum.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to. That's your usual sort of.
No, I like your mother. I'm male.
No. What do you think of this for a system?
Yeah, go on. A deli system where we all go to your mum's house and just pull out the numbers. And we sit so we don't have to line up. Bonnie Blue should have had a deli system, shouldn't she? Shouldn't she have had a deli system where you just take a number? The number comes up and then because I think they all stood in line.
Well, I have seen her pussy. It does look like old Bologna, so I understand. She is serving up some cold cuts down there.
I think people can you see that they reckon that she used to be a boy and they posted a picture of her.
I'm on a Bonnie Blue talk ban. My girlfriend says we talk about it too much.
What, me and you or you and her?
No, you and I. She's like, it's every week. And I was like, yeah, because it's a woman getting fucked by 1,000 dudes. I'm sorry that stands out.
We need a hobby. It's so hard as grown men to find things that you actually agree on that you can talk about, and then women aren't happy with that.
I know. Okay, here's my system.
It's like my wife keeps on talking about Love Island. I don't get angry. All I talk about is the snake, the movie Him coming out, and Bonnie Blue. I'm not a bad dude.
No, you like what you like.
I saw him. We can go back to this. We'll jump back. I saw him.
Would you think this system works?
I just want to say how good Him is. Him's really good. Go check out Him.
It deserves its own segment.
Okay, we'll talk about it in a second.
Let's not wedge it in.
I can't talk about what happened in the movie, but I was like, I tell you, Marlon Wayans, Tyreek Withers are A-class actors. Proper, like Oscar-winning performance in these movies. I don't know if they'll win it or not or anything like that, but they They're fucking outstanding.
Yeah,
Tyreek Withers is going to be.
You haven't set this up right. So what Jim's talking about, by the way, is his movie that he's in.
It's not my movie. I'm just in the movie.
But you're acting in a movie, and you got to sit there and watch it. And anyone who's friends with Jim would know that he's being extraordinary, full of anxiety because he thought I might be shit in this.
Yeah, but I don't watch myself. I didn't watch legit until it was all done and dusted. I don't really watch myself if I can avoid it. But most of the things that I'm in, like my stand-up specials, I got to watch it to see, check the laughter and all that type of stuff, and check it out and make sure which take you're going to use and all that type of stuff. But I was nervous to see the film. I'm okay in it. I'm not going to irk you or anything, but I'm telling you, Tyreek and Marlon, A+.
And this is a movie about an NFL football player, and it's about taking hits to the head, right? And what CTE does. In broad strokes, yes. There's some mystical stuff going on there. You know what it is? It's a Monkey Paw Productions movie, man. Justin Tipping did an amazing job on it as well. It's like visually, it's stunning. It's like, and at the end of the film, the credits roll up, and you're like this, fucking hell. And then I was still processing it for a couple of days after. It didn't leave me, this movie. Yeah, I'm really happy to be part of it. Anyway, so Bonnie Blue. No, we've moved on from Bonnie Blue.
Speaking of movie stuff,
I'm out of.
Do you reckon she watches her footage back, or she's like this?
I don't think there's enough time in the day.
Oh God, no! There's too much cum on that eyeball. I hate watching myself.
I'm so derivative.
Yeah,
at the end of the day, all I'm doing is Jenna Jameson, with a different accent.
Yeah, like, all right, I get a whole lot of loads to the face. That's cool. I'll be honest. I like myself in the being pissed on scene. I thought that was good. But the rest of it, not my best work. Anyway, hello, Annika.
I'm just getting a text message from her. She can feel this in the force. She's bored of that material.
Well, until the podcast catches on to the amount of subscribers we want, we have to do Bonnie Blue.
Is there anything else you wish to discuss about the Coldplay kiss cam? Well, are there any other legendary got caught cheating? Because the same week it was Conor McGregor.
Okay, so I just watched the Brett Favre documentary, and there was like that girl that he sent him, just kept on sexting and sending pictures of his dick, and she never even responded to him. He was just like, she worked for the team as a color coordinator, and she was like, same thing with Pamela Anderson. There's been people who have been caught on those cameras, jumbotrons, and made a career out of it, right? Yeah. So Pamela Anderson was just at a football game in Canada, and everyone was like, did you see that blonde girl? She was something else, eh? Oh, local product, eh? And then she was like famous the next day. All the radio stations were like, did anyone see that girl at the football game? And that's what happened.
Is that how she launched?
Yeah. You can see the footage. She was, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with Pamela Anderson.
You know what? That's you got to give it.
Yeah, local Canadian produce.
You got to give it up.
The food coloring in America
at sporting matches, you do notice less of that now. But growing up, when you'd watch the cricket, the Channel 9 cameramen, because it's not the most exciting game, Test match cricket. Half their job was to find big tits in the crowd.
Oh, during the World Cup.
Oh, the World Cup! That Croatian woman has a big career now.
The World Cup, they're like this. Portugal's playing Sweden, and I'll be like, and boys, I'll be upstairs in my room with the door knocked. I like to watch football.
That is the game. They're like, quite a defensive game here at the Bloemfontein Stadium. And now, oh, look at that Croatian girl. She seems to be having a wonderful time. Look at that ball bouncing around there. And then they go, what do we think, folks? Do we like the Croatian? Oh, look at the Spanish. Now, I do love the hips of a Spanish lass. Because they know the American channel just cannot handle defensive football. They got to go.
When I was in Munich and I saw Australia versus Brazil, right? Nothing against Australian women. I've been very fond of Australian women over the course. I came out of one. So, I'm not anti. So the Australian jersey and the Brazilian jersey is very close in color. Like it's almost the same gold color as each other. It's just like if you went down to Home Depot, it would be a color tag apart, right? Anyway, so you saw all these women, Brazilian women, and all these Australian women wearing basically the same jersey, But it was easy to tell them apart. I tell you what, the Australian girls who had travelled out there were drinking beers, going, "Fucking, I don't know what it's like over here. The sausages are too big, Fucking,
yeah, they're wearing zinc on their eyes.
Yeah, wearing Australian like green and gold zinc underneath their things, and they're fucking. I want to come out and see the Matildas more than anything, right? They're doing that, and then the Brazilian girls were fucking sumbering down the road. Oh, it was a hell of a show. I don't even remember the game.
Well, I was going to say. The Conor McGregor situation this week is the actual big story.
What's happened to Conor McGregor?
Well, he's just always cheating on his wife, and people are like, D-Devil, and she's just...
Was he at the Coldplay concert?
He was not at the Coldplay concert. Dude, he was just making out with like some regular tubby woman at a beach club. Just a passerby.
Yeah, the Irish, they look... It might have been tubby to you, but to an Irish man, she was some fine American beef. Where was he?
But I think it was down in like Miami or something. I don't know where it was, but then his wife just keeps on taking the hits. She's just happy with the lifestyle she has, I guess. And she's like, she was celebrating his birthday. And then the next day, this other scandal comes out, which is Azalea Banks, the rapper, leaked his dick. She put out his dick pic.
Azalea Banks Azalea Banks, I don't ask me why, but
they've been sexting since 2016.
I can't talk about it, but she's not a good egg, the old Azalea. She's no good. But anyway,
and the reason I know
because
I'm doing gigs at the moment.
You got Dave Chappelle, who Azalea Banks said something, and now you've got Conor McGregor, who Azalea Banks says about something. Why would anyone go near Azalea Banks?
Well, I mean, she's obviously, they find her very, very attractive.
Oh, she's not a bad looking girl.
They've been sexting for years, and then he sent her a picture of his dick and wrote, "Don't be a rat."
Yeah, but there's not a good looking guy who shags famous women and then tells the world, "I just shagged whatever famous woman," and then the other famous women are like, "I'll still give her a go, give him a go." Like, this is ridiculous.
But it's just funny because
she's a rat. She is a fucking... What she did to Dave Chappelle and now what she's doing to this guy, it's like, just get a boyfriend then. Just stop dating married men and just...
But, like, Conor McGregor 1 month ago was, like, talking to Tucker Carlson, like, Tucker, we need me to be the president. I'm going to take over Ireland and become the fucking president we need. He was wearing the suit. He was like, I'm going to launch a presidential campaign. And then 1 month later, he's sexting a rapper and making out with a waitress on a Miami beach. I think his political career lasted as long as Mal Meninga.
I think he's sexting a rapper and probably not even wearing a rapper with her. And she's the least safe bank in town, I'm telling you.
Other than the West.
Yeah. Yeah, she's better than Wells Fargo about 5 years ago. She's a better bank than that, but not by much.
Yeah. All right. So some more scandals that we can discuss this week is Lamine Yamal. I don't know if you know Lamine Yamal, but he's the wonder kid,
he's the
next Messi.
17-year-old wonder kid. His sports cards, his rookie card goes for about $4 or $5 grand now. So it's like...
Yeah, plays for Barcelona, Spain.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
He has fallen into some trouble this week. He celebrated his birthday, and he's been having quite a wild time. He's notoriously hanging out with a lot of ladies. He's been partying hard as a young athlete would. And then to celebrate his birthday, he wanted to get some dwarfs.
Yeah, that's what...
To party.
Yeah. But the problem is a lot of the farms, you can't farm them anymore because ice raids. So what, did you just try to get them in the wild?
No, so it says... The Association of People with Achondroplasia, which is an association for people with dwarfism.
Yes.
In Spain.
There's about 200 different types of dwarfism. It's quite a...
Yes. So this association that looks after their interests has said here that they are taking legal action against Lamine Yamal for his hiring of dwarf entertainers for his birthday party. And when I looked at this tell me if this is a fair analogy. Okay. I think these dwarf societies that try and shut down dwarfs going to parties to be used as bowling balls or whatever's going on.
I think it's a little bit like dwarf. It's the same as the women who say that women shouldn't be prostitutes.
I was saying it's like feminist groups banning grid girls.
Yes. I was at the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival and I won Comedian of the Year, right? And there always used to be a girl, not like dressed in a bikini or anything. A girl, a pretty woman in a ball gown would hand you the trophy. And when I got it, right, it was a guy in a tuxedo. Now, they'd had the same girl doing the job every year. But then Hannah Gatsby won the award before me. And she was like, I don't think it's right that these people do these things. And I think that we should have a true representation of everybody, right? So she did that. And they got, so that good.
What kind of a lesbian gets rid of a beautiful woman giving you a trophy?
That girl lost her job. Like, you can have the bloke in the tuxedo then if you bloody wanted to. And also, he was still good looking. It wasn't like they gave me an uggo. It's just like they went from one good-looking person to another good-looking person. Why couldn't have a dwarf given me the award? I would have been as happy with a handsome guy in a fucking tuxedo. Anyway, so, I would employ them for award giving.
Because obviously the dwarf community feels that we don't want you doing this. This is demeaning to us.
They're little and underwhelmed.
For you to be thrown as a dart or whatever. You know what I mean?
No,
like they were doing.
I agree. It is demeaning, but it is still at the end of the day, it's up to the person who does it. Is it illegal if the person wants to do it? There's people in sex clubs who are being pissed and shit on, and that's what they want in life. Not me. I wouldn't do both of those things. But if the dwarf wants to do it, I understand. Okay, so whenever you see like a bad Australian comedian, right, and they're up there going, you say this and we say that, and you know what else is weird, like that, right? Whenever you're seeing that,
we ride kangaroos.
Yeah, as an Australian, you go, you're making it harder for me. Now, I'm sure for a good, hardworking dwarf who's trying to, grow in the business, a bad choice of words there, but trying to build up their repertoire
to come up in the world.
Yeah, who working in entertainment, and then like I'm an actor. Like I'm sure Peter Dinklage looks at the bowling ball dwarf and goes, "What are you doing, man?"
Mate, he doesn't even let them do the dwarfs in Snow White. So he's particularly
yeah. I know he's taken all the dwarfs out of the business. Back in Willy Wonka, you got Hugh Grant doing dwarf face. He's doing dwarf face. He's not meant to have that job. That job's meant to go to a dwarf, right? So they've taken away all their jobs in movies and cinema and television, all type of stuff, and now a lot of the work they get is just bowling ball work.
To be a bowling
so if anyone should be blamed, it's the Hollywood elite, like for pushing them into this area.
Yes, the woke movement.
I'm sure none of the dwarfs in The Wizard of Oz were used as darts, were they? They were respected as munchkins.
Yeah, there's a guy right now in Spain putting on goggles and doing a tuck, and he's like, fucking Dinklage.
Yeah, fucking Dinklage.
He's getting rolled down an alley. I was meant to be dopey.
Yeah, fucking Dinklage. I was cast in the new Time Bandits, and they got rid of all the dwarfs in Time Bandits. How dare they?
This is what I have to do now.
How dare they? Anyway, so what did the football player make?
Oh, he's just getting publicly shamed.
What did the little people? What did the?
They haven't said like what they were. They just said as entertainment, and I'm immediately thinking bowling, darts. Let's have a look. I'll try and Google some more. It's just backlash. Here we go. AlJazeera.com. Barcelona star faces backlash.
I know Al Jazeera is a proper a news outlet, but every time I hear it, I go, "Oh God, what are they up to?" Oh, it's right, they're the news outlet.
It does sound like an organization.
It doesn't sound.
Al Jazeera took responsibility.
Yeah, Al Jazeera took responsibility for the dwarfs being thrown off the thing, and you'd be like, "Well, I guess they're trying to get out a political message."
Like, okay, if you came to my birthday party and I said I'm having a big bash, and you came with the wife, right?
I don't want to go now.
And I go, yeah, man, it's going to be great. We've got a surprise at 10 p.m. as well. And then it was just a troop of dwarfs. And they sort of went in there and they were just sort of wrestling each other and I don't know, doing sword fights or just general Disney shit.
Yeah.
But like, would you be like, that's not cool, man? Or would you go, oh, well, they're getting, and I'm like, no, I've paid them $2,000 each.
I would say it's not cool. I'd say, no, it's not a cool thing. Look, I work with disabled people in the gym. We had people there with dwarfism and stuff like that. I'm friends with Brad Williams. I've Tanya Lee Davis. I've known a lot of dwarfs through stand-up comedy in my life. And I've seen, look, it's got to be a hard life. It can't be fucking easier. Right. You got to have empathy for people who go through that. And I think it is demeaning to make them do jobs for our pleasure or to see them as not human.
But what's worse, that or stripping?
See, this is the thing, because if they're in on the joke and it's not demeaning, like I don't mind a couple of them falling out of a clown car. I'm all for that. Right, I'm all for that. Or
it has to be a routine. It's like a troupe they've got to show. Or...
Exactly. If they're an impersonator, if there was one that looked like me and you showed up at my party and it was like me, but as a little person and could sort of say the word cunt in a really authentic
way.
It
is a cooking demonstration from the one that looks like Ramsay.
No, because I don't want to buy a little footstool because then I have to keep that around the house the whole time. Cooking's the wrong way. They have their own special kitchens and I don't want to impede on that.
Okay, so you would say it is a bad reflection on Lamine Yamal that he is doing that. You immediately think Wolf of Wall Street, bad person.
Yeah, but if you've got them doing demeaning things, but let's say you're let's say you're a dwarf and you want to play soccer, right? You'd have to play with other dwarfs and make a team, right? Because that's the only way that you could play on an equal playing
field. I don't know. Messi's, I think, legally a midget, but go on.
Like on an even playing field where you're all little people, right? All right, here's one for you. If a male little person transitions into a female little person, are they allowed to do sports? I feel like that's got to be the great equalizer, right? They can do women's sports. They've been a man who's become a woman, but they're still 3 foot tall. What's your?
Sorry, I'm just thinking my conservative brain's just trying to run that through a lot of filters. I'm like, where am I getting angry with this? I guess
if I was getting the surgery, I was a dwarf transitioning into a female dwarf. I'd also go. I also identify as tall. Bring on the stilts.
You can break the legs if you want it enough.
Yeah, not to that height.
How much can you gain from the leg break surgery? Because my mum told me she wanted to do that to me when I was young, and I'm 5'11", 5'10". I'm 5'9".
But you were never good. Yeah, you're 5'9". Are you 5'9"?
No, I'm 178 centimeters. What's that? I think that's like 5'10".
What size shoe?
I'm 177. I lied again. I don't know why I can't stop doing
you're not, because I'm 182 or something centimeters. You're not that at all. I'm
shrinking.
What size shoe are you?
I'm an 11.
You see, I'm 6 foot and I got size 10 feet. I got little tiny feet.
Yeah, I've got that. I got nice. I'm like Slavic, low, heavy set. I'm just heavy, thick. I'm so close to being a big fat.
When someone says to you, "You're my rock," they literally mean it, don't they? Anyway, so find out, what did he actually do to him?
They haven't released it because the dwarves themselves don't seem to be pissed off about it. They're just saying, you're taking us back to the Middle Ages with birthday parties like this, like you're some kind of king. And you're using your money to demean people, even though they need it in an economy like this. They don't really want to be doing that kind of work.
Yeah.
Which is hard to disagree with.
But what I was going to say is if you got like, 30 or so of them, and like with reserves and everything like that, and he had them playing a soccer game, would have that been bad?
Yeah.
Really? I reckon that's all right, that one, because then they get to compete. They get
no, but that's just. I'm sorry, but that's sort of just, you're not looking after your guests then, because that's just boring. Like, they still have to be.
All right, you have two of them, and they're jousting.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Jousting's no good.
No, I think that's great.
They're on ponies.
Yeah, little Shetlands.
Yeah, they're Shetlands.
We call it Shetland jousting.
They've just got a regular javelin under their armpit, and off they go. They
have two metal rulers, a Shetland pony.
Yeah,
and they run at each other. There's nothing wrong with that, as far as I'm
you'd see that. Like if you've got the land space.
What I wanted to ask you is you've gone to more parties with people who have money than I have.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
Yes.
So I have, my friends don't do this because we don't have the money to just go, let's get dwarves. Like my friends barely cater.
If you're asking me if I've ever purchased a dwarf, I have not. I have not. Not in any way.
What is the most extravagant thing you've ever purchased for a party?
For me, I've had party organizers where I've had waiters with hors d'oeuvres and bartenders in my house. That's pretty fancy.
Bouncy castle?
Bouncy castles, they're cheap. I could get a bouncy castle on a Sunday just for fun. Yeah, they're nothing. They bring them in the morning. They take them away at night. You never even see the person. It just appears. Love the bouncy castle.
What else have you hired? Have you ever hired an entertainer, a singer, a dancer, strippers?
No, I haven't. Oh, I've hired a stripper for a bachelor party.
Yeah.
Yeah, for my brother's bachelor party back in the day, I hired a stripper. So there you go.
So when I was new to comedy, I had a.
She didn't know it at the time, but I kept on offering more money.
I had an
agency.
I had an agent.
Tall she was.
That got me to do bachelor parties for blokes, and the package was you get a stripper and a comedian. Right?
Oh, I've been involved in things like that.
Yeah. So I would get sent out to these parties, and it was me and whatever stripper they would get.
Yeah.
And they knew that they were getting the stripper. They didn't know they were getting the comedian. So I've meant to come out, do some gags, roast the guy getting married, and then I'm like, here's your stripper. And there is no worse crowd than a group of like 50 hammered men who are huddling in a circle, and they think a stripper's about to come out, and then I'm walking out, and I'm like, Qantas isn't as good as it used to be, is it, guys? They got these land acknowledgements now. When you land, what's that? Or Nam? Oh, what's that? Vietnam? Like I'm just eating shit.
Yeah.
And then I will never forget this chant I had. I was doing a footy club gig, and they go, we want the pussy.
Yeah.
We.
Yeah, you cut out the microphone.
We just want.
Your microphone knew you were being an idiot then. Okay, Karen.
No, their chant was.
Yeah, we want
as
the
I'm
pussy.
doing my material, we want the pussy. And this goes, we don't want cock. We want pussy, son. Get the pussy on. And he goes, how much do they pay you to do comedy? I said, $800. This guy gives me an extra $200. He goes, that makes it $1,000 to stop. And then the stripper came out.
Yeah.
And I've never seen anything like this. This is what they did. Bloke.
How are her jokes?
She walked out. She has the same walk-on song to you. She walks out the Akadaka. So she comes out there with a bag, and every single dude who was there, name was put into a hat, I remember. And she pulled a name out of the hat, and that was the guy that she was going to do the show on. And they pulled out the club treasurer, who was like 82
years old. Yeah, you cut out for a second there. 82 years old.
And so this old fella just gets brought into a chair in a circle at a footy club. And I'm really young. I'm 19, and I'm very sheltered at this point. I was like, oh, this looks like a tough environment, you know? I was thinking as a performer to walk in there, right? And I'm saying to her, I go, Jesus, they're pretty rough. You know, this crowd's pretty rough. You're going to go, all right? She's like, it's not rough when you actually make them happy. She like slams me, okay? And then she gets him down these 80, and she just starts doing her dance on him. And she's putting the tits in the face. And then she gets strawberries and cream from Allen's. Those, you know those candies?
Yeah, those little.
Do they have them in America?
No, they don't. They're little gummies in Australia for kids, not like weed gummies, but like little like a Haribo thing.
Yeah, and then she gets like a handful of them, and she puts them in her ass.
And
this 82-year-old man gets down on his knees and eats them out of her ass, right?
Yeah.
His glasses are completely fogged, and I'm just watching this old tongue like a giraffe coming out, and he's slobbering around, and his like grandkids are there who play for the footy club, and they're like, yeah, Pop's getting involved, right? This is a northern suburbs of Adelaide football club. And for me, I remember watching like...
I'm just amazed the girl puts on such a good show. Like, got to give her credit where credit's due. She could have just danced around to pour some sugar on me and call it a fucking day.
I know, and I'm sitting there in the back, and she's doing the vegetables and everything, and I'm just in the green room at this point with my notes, like working on like, how could have I got them better? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to write new jokes while this woman's getting lollies eaten out of her ass.
There was one of the comedy clubs in Britain on a Monday. There was a comedian. I'm not going to say who, but there was a comedian. It was his Bucks night. So all the comedians had the night off. So like 80 male comedians show up to this, and there was 2 strippers, and they put out a little runway thing for them in the they let them dance on the comedy stage, and we had the bachelor party there. And that was the thing, right? So Mike Wilmot, who's a fantastic comedian from Canada, does dick jokes. You know Mike, right?
Yep.
Mike's killer. He's one of those guys you don't want to go on after Mike. Mike Wilmot, very good comedian. And so Mike Wilmot's there, And one of the strippers, she's dancing around. She takes his glasses off him, and she puts one arm of the glasses up her asshole and the other arm in her pussy, and then she puckers the glasses so they go like this. She pulls them out. She licks the arms. She puts the glasses back on his face, and the glasses are all crooked. And he goes, "I'm sure that was wonderful, but I couldn't see a thing."
Dude. All I remember after that was how good she did with that crowd, and then she got an envelope for like $4,000.
She was worth every cent.
And we were parting ways, and I said, "What are you doing now?" And she goes, "I got 3 more of these tonight." And it's like she's made like $12,000 in a night, and it's just to basically go around and get men to eat vegetables out of her.
But that's the whole thing. She's putting on a show. That's in many ways harder than being an escort, where you're just having sex with a person. There's an audience.
100%.
Like there's a lot of people who are very good looking, who have amazing bodies, but can they put on a show? You know what I mean? I look. Hats off to anyone who works in the adult business as an entertainer. I couldn't do it in any great way. It's a difficult job.
That's what I was saying. I remember, I was quite judgmental. I was like, "Oh, fucking couldn't do that. Like, that's just grotesque." But I got $800.
Yeah, I don't know. So you were back in your hotel room shoving candies up your arsehole, going, "I reckon I can turn this into a career."
My dignity, for what I consider my dignity, was worth $3,200 more. That was where my line was at. But I didn't know that how much these people were making cash in hand, undeclared.
You've declared it now. I do declare.
I do declare. But every time I see these parties, like you've been the act for a party, you're the filthy act that they would.
Yes, I've been invited for private parties. I've done weddings. I once did a girl's 21st birthday when I was like 26 or something like that, 25, 26 or something. I was the act. And then as I was leaving, the fucking dad went to me. He goes, "If you could dance with my daughter a bit." I said, "I've actually got a girlfriend at home. It's time to go." He slipped me another £200. I went, "All right, I'll go dance with the kids." You know what I mean? These are hard times. To get that type of money, I was over the moon. I remember there was like an Elvis impersonator. There was a magician. No, there was a Frank Sinatra impersonator, a magician. And then I had to tell jokes. It was just a rich kid in the north of England. It was like, but it was something else.
It's because stand-up's changed so much. There's so much, it's such a different art form now. There's so much art involved to it, and criticism, literary criticism.
Well, there was no art involved in the past, was there? You next generation. Oh, we've all taken it to the next level, and there's just been
no. I'm saying it's like I've always seen stand-up for what it is, which is it's a foot in both camps. And there's certain comedians who are famous now where I still have this bigotry in my head to them, where I go, "You couldn't go on after a fruit and veg show. You're not a real comic." You know what I mean?
You couldn't go on after a fruit and veg show. Yeah, there's comics that I'm like, they're good, but could they go on after a fruit and veg?
That's I'm watching a guy on a stool I
couldn't go on after a fruit and veg either. There's a few comics who could do it. You need I reckon Earthquake could do it. You need to be punchy.
You could come out after a fruit and veg show.
Early on in my career, when I had a bit more fire in my belly, I probably could have gone out after fruit and veg. Now I'm too set in my ways. If I saw a fruit and veg before me now, I'd just be like, you've had a good show, boys.
Yeah.
You've had a good show.
What are you scared of following, Amos? Dave Chappelle? Nah, man, a courgette.
Could you imagine Dave Chappelle shoving candies up his ass and eating it? How that would fucking
It's a better show, dude.
If he's already just doing that with his comedy, he's killing. Like, imagine how good he would be if he could do fruit and veg on top of it as a closer, even as an opener.
Even when you're in the arts at any level,
yourself.
At any art, you are just purchasable by a billionaire. And I swear I'm going to link this to another topical story that we want to discuss. Sure. So whether you're a dwarf dancing as a bowling ball or whatever at a rich soccer player's party, whether you're a comedian and you're doing a corporate gig or you're working for a network, many of us are at the behest, like medieval jesters, to dance for the wealthy people that pay us, right?
We have many bosses, yes.
And so, my best gig I ever had was a billionaire's wife contacted me and said, "My husband likes your stand-up and it's his 50th birthday. We're going to pay you $15,000, which for me was an enormous amount of money, to roast him. Here's his best friend's phone number. Call them up and get some information." So I call all his friends that day, and they give me a few details on him.
Oh, he's a bit crook, he is, yeah. Oh, he says stupid things all the time. And,
ask him about Zurich.
Yeah, ask him. He got fucking smashed drunk. And what happened? Oh, he couldn't say a word. Fucking vomited, didn't he?
So they were putting on a $2 million birthday party for him in Sydney, and I was in LA at the time. They booked me flights to $15,000, and he called me right as I was getting on the plane, and he goes, "Amos, this is blah blah blah." I go, "Oh mate, yeah, I'm excited to see you." And he goes, "Yeah, don't get on the plane." He goes, "I've just found out about this birthday party that there's a comedian. My friends have." He goes, "I don't get roasted. That's not for me." He goes, "The money will be in your account. Don't get on the fucking plane."
Right. What's this cunt's name so we can do it right now? No, let's not roast him, the poor bastard.
But there was the greatest gig I've ever had.
What's his company? Thin Skin Industries?
His name was, I think I'm getting this right, Jeffrey
Nugent Epstein.
No, he was a building magnate, and there was no greater feeling to me than realizing I don't have to go and do that because I was gonna bomb.
Well, I had a corporate at Christmas where all the comedians were doing really badly, and then I was there and everyone was doing badly, and they said, "We'll just pay you. You don't have to go up." And then another comedian who shall not be named called me a pussy and said, "I can do the gig. The gig's easy. You just have to know how to perform these gigs. You're not a road warrior like me." He told me off. And then the cunt went up there and died a horrible fucking death. Horrible. So I did the right move. I was like, "Thank you." I not only did I take the money and not do the gig, but I stayed for the food. The audacity.
Well, yeah, they're paying you. You might as well mingle.
I didn't mingle. I just sat in the back room going, "I hear there was going to be a meal."
So the reason I bring this up also, this is my link point, is all comedians are working for someone in this business.
Yes.
Even the ones that are free-minded for the most part. We have a paymaster.
We're not.
And this week, Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, Colbert.
Had his show, but not just his show. The Late Show, made famous by David Letterman, has been wound up by CBS. They're finishing next year. And there's a lot of talk that this has come out in the wash where Donald Trump has sued CBS for the 60-minute situation. CBS also has a merger going through with Paramount. They think this is a bit of a deal where it's like, "Hey, I'll sign off on the merger. You pay me the $16 million and also piss off that Colbert who's been a real thorn in my side." And now Colbert's come out the other end of that. That's what I would say is the left wing of America's talking point about the Colbert sacking.
I agree with it, by the way. I agree with what you just said. I think that Donald Trump made him get rid of his show. Yep. I think that's a real thing, and I think it's a very
nonsense.
I think it's a very dangerous thing as well. That like this is like the quieting the media for all the people who say, "Oh, you shouldn't say he's like Hitler." When can we? He's trying to bake anyone who speaks out against him.
Where is first of all where is the evidence of that?
I'm no huge Stephen Colbert. I did the show. He didn't seem to like me very much. I'm not here to wank off Stephen Colbert.
Are we honestly in a position now? I'm reading all the media of this. First of all, it's such a great cope for Stephen to go out like, "The administration shut me down." No, dude, you're a part of what we call the old media. No one watches late night anymore. It's a wonderful way to sail off in the sunset. The truth, and these are facts, is Stephen Colbert gets $16 million a year on a show that loses CBS $40 to $50 million annually. Name me a job where you get paid $16 million a year to lose money for your boss year after year where you stay around. Why would you ever be kept in that job?
Bowling ball dwarf.
This is all I'm saying. And it's like, think about this. The Colbert Show has 200 staff. How many viewers do they get?
Well, at least those 200 would go home and watch it because they have to check. And then they tell a couple of friends, "Hold on, I'm thinking about it." 17. I'm going to say 716,042.
That's not bad. What does the snake get?
The snake does very well on Hulu.
But this is the thing, right? As we all know, late night's coming to the end. It's sad. Like, I was the biggest Conan fan. I think
the snake does more than that, actually.
My financial well-being. My girlfriend works for Kimmel.
What's the number? Give me the number. You can't just say give us the number and then just go. My girlfriend works for Kimmel.
I think Colbert has the best.
You didn't have the fucking digits on this?
No, I had how much it makes.
So you're saying
it loses $40 million.
Colbert rated higher than Fallon.
Than Fallon, yes.
No, I don't believe that. I believe Does he?
He does, yeah. Late Show with Stephen Colbert gets a total number.
Fallon right now must be in his writer's room like this. Oh, God. Fucking what game should we play? He wouldn't be giggling as much as normal. I'll tell you who got out of it well. James Corden quit at the right time. Do you know he had a house in the Palisades? Corden had a house in the Palisades, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And he left and went back to Britain where everyone's like, we don't want him back. He's like, oh, no, I want my kids to go to school in England. Ooh, like that. Right? Yeah. And then his house burnt down and he left late night because the writing's on the wall, as you said, for all late night. But I do believe, okay, let me say.
How many, like, is Stephen Colbert, is Stephen Colbert really, is he the thorn in the side of the administration? There's not way more, like you're saying there's no other shows on American television or the internet?
You don't think there's more of this to come?
I think all of old media is winding down because it's not profitable. They don't give a fuck about what the administration says. They don't make money anymore. And for $100 million to put on a Tonight Show, dude, we get no viewers. We get 50,000. But to do this, we have 2 Zoom feeds and Jack.
Yeah.
And we get 50,000. Why would a big company who realizes you have to go to streaming now continue to pay for something just because it was once iconic?
Yes. But it's
if it was making money, sure, you'd keep it around.
It's something that looks good on your schedule that gives your channel a bit of gloss and shine and all that sort of stuff. The problem is with the late night show is you go on there now, you've prepared something really funny to say, but you are always going to be funnier on a podcast when someone's interviewing you and you know you don't have 4 minutes and 70 seconds or whatever. That would be 5 minutes and 10 seconds. But you know you don't have an exact amount of time that you have to get your story out. And, it's a better interview listening to someone on a podcast.
But
that people will be more personal on a podcast as well. And they won't be as conscious or they might slip up or whatever like that. So
Stephen Colbert's not just... Dude, Stephen Colbert is complete establishment. It's like Tucker Carlson is more dangerous than Donald Trump. Tucker Carlson's attacks on the administration are way more potent than anything that Stephen Colbert is doing, or the Young Turks, or Hassan.
Okay, so let's say we lose Kimmel, we lose Fallon. Do you think if Gutfeld's the only show left standing, would you then concede? Would you then go, oh yeah, maybe Trump is involved?
Well, I think Gutfeld works because they get ratings and they spend no fucking money on it, as the jokes on the show would attest. There's not a big writers' room on there. It doesn't, I think it's cheap.
They bring comedians on to be funny. I'd be on Gutfeld. I have no problem with Gutfeld.
Yeah, I just think ultimately that I couldn't believe that everyone was saying this is so politically motivated. It was politically motivated to keep those shows on. All those shows did for the best part of 10 years was be like, Trump sucks, Orange Man bad. I would argue many of them made Donald Trump more popular because they fucking absolutely waned on about it every night to the point where it was like, you've killed the fun of these Tonight shows as an escapism.
Let's not minimalize all the bullshit that Trump does, right? Trump is an unprecedented precedent. Right? Mm-hmm. We haven't seen a person like this running a country ever who just says batshit crazy shit all the time.
Silvio Berlusconi was Trump before Trump. No one knows about the great man from Italy.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like, I used to do the Jim Jefferies show and I had a rule in the writer's room was don't bring up Trump unless it's necessary. Because people would be like, we'd do another story about something and you go, and that's like Trump's hair or his orange tan. I'd go, no, don't bring up Trump unless it's vital to the story. And he was vital to so many stories. You can't just go, oh, these people didn't shut up about him. Trump, whether you think he's a genius who engineered this or not, but a guy who goes on rallies and just fucking spouts bullshit. We used to get into George W. Bush because he'd go like this, the left doesn't know what the right's doing. And we go, oh, he got the hands wrong, fucking moron. And he's saying nuclear weird. You know what I mean? Like, that was all we had. Now we've got a guy who's just he's eating cats and dogs. And then you're like, oh, and he's just lying all the time. And you're like, oh, it's because these people brought him up all the time and they didn't shut up about him. I admit, I think CNN had more to do with getting Trump in because they started like crossing over to anytime he did a rally. And they gave him too much screen time. But the comedians, what are you meant to do? I think that Donald Trump has been detrimental to my career because I've talked about him on stage and I've alienated some of my fans or whatever. You know what I mean?
There's a massive fatigue culturally on it as well.
Yeah. I wish the guy had sailed off to the sunset. We could be talking about something else.
But that's why so many people love Conan, because Conan stayed away from
4 years.
You know, Conan tried to keep it silly and did, you know, sort of weird sketch stuff and, you know, make it an escapism. Like every comedian thinks they're bringing the administration down.
Conan didn't have an opportunity because the show was ending. That's a good point, but not for the first administration. All right, everybody, we have from the Snake, this week's Snake, Derek North. How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on the podcast. This is Amos. Amos meet Derek. Derek meet Amos.
Derek.
Amos, nice to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Derek, just before we got on, we were discussing Illinois, where you're from, Naperville, Illinois. My girlfriend's family's from that sort of region. And I think it's my favorite part of America now, the Illinois folk. Are you a Portillo's man? Are you an Italian beef eater? Is that the king sandwich in the United States? Where do you put it?
Well, what we were saying, I think late night, between that and the other options, you got to go Portillo's. They got the best late night burger with the fries. Get a hot dog for the ride home. You know what I mean?
Right. What about the stupid deep dish pizzas that no one actually eats? Are you into them?
They're good here and there on occasion. You know, like Celebration, I like the deep dish, but I'm normally a thin crust kind of guy.
Yeah, everyone's a thin crust kind of guy. No one wants a casserole on top of a pie. All it is a pie plate, isn't it? Like,
I will say I've traveled enough America now to say I think it's actually, everyone says New York, but for me, it's Detroit. I like the Detroit slice. It's the right combination.
California Pizza Kitchen till I die.
So, Derek, you lived in California. Were you a cop that went to LA to be like a TV cop?
No, this was before I became into law enforcement and cop. After college, I moved to LA. I did some like really small, stupid movies, and like I was working at a celebrity bar there, the Sunset Tower Hotel. I saw you had David Spade on your show. I was watching some of your shows to try to research. And he was in like every week. He's a great guy.
David Spade's the best, man. If people don't know how good David Spade is with the women, Google David Spade girlfriends. He was Pete Davidson before social media. Before anyone know, the man's record is I won't even say Mike Tyson because his career ended early, right? He's Muhammad Ali of women, I'm telling you.
I was behind the bar and I got to watch the magic. So yeah, hats off to him.
He's about 5'6", and my wife gets giddy when she talks to him. She's always like, "Oh,
smooth." He's smooth.
Yeah,
I'd just like to go on the record for David and say, let's not associate him with any way with Mike Tyson and behavior with sexuality.
That was a bad example. In fact, I probably should leave any boxes out of it. Really, that's been.
Yeah, my friend, he's a real ladies' man. He's just like he's the Epstein of today. Am I right?
So we watched the episode. You were in a bit of a situation at the beginning of the episode. You really were on a bit of an island. You lost one of your biggest allies. Pastor Jacob had left. But then the secret thing, each contestant that leaves from here on in gets to give an advantage or a disadvantage to a player. And he gave you the first advantage. You're the first person with an advantage. Now, the advantage, it didn't seem like much, right? So there was these platforms and they had little tiny... See, Amos didn't watch the fucking episode. He hasn't watched the episode. This is why he's just drinking water.
It's great. Tune
in. So on the platforms, they put little tiny obstacles on and your platform didn't have an obstacle. Now, for anyone who didn't see the show, there was a platform that I believe we raised at least 50 feet. It was
at minimum. It was high up there.
It was really high up. We filmed the show in Argentina. I don't know what the health and safety standards are like in Argentina because you guys, so you had like a walk the plank thing that happened. You had a platform with like a steel girder that came out. At the end of that, you had a cord, and if you pulled it, the other person's platform went away before yours. So if you got it,
it was wild.
I think the people who built it thought it would take 30 seconds per person and they'd shuffle along. But our contestants were fierce, and everyone just ran and jumped and grabbed the cord. Now, this was no bullshit. 50, 60 feet high. Several people who landed in the water had to like have medical attention. Like people actually came up to it. Are you okay? I think Alyssa thought she'd broken a rib or something like that.
Yeah, she was with medics for like a half an hour. Yeah, they almost like took her away. It was wild.
Now, this is also the thing about the snake that people don't understand. It was filmed in Argentina. The river, I believe the name of the river that you jumped in was the Piranha River.
Yeah, it was deadly.
Okay.
It was deadly.
All right. So you know your days are numbered, and correct me if I'm saying anything that you don't agree with. I think you knew your days were numbered unless you became the snake in this challenge. Am I right?
There was no question. I had to win 100%. Every alliance I had was gone. Everyone else kind of knew I was still a threat, so why not get rid of me next? I was gone if I didn't win.
Yeah. And who could have won to save you? There's arguably maybe Amanda could have, or something. Yeah, I think.
But she wanted to stay out of everyone's, target. She would have sent me home too, no question.
Oh, we have to talk about Amanda at the end. Amanda's kissing Devontae, and then she screws over Devontae at the end. Doesn't screw him over. Tells him, it's a game, right?
Yeah.
Tells him that she's going to pick him. And then we find out that Amanda has a boyfriend at home, and she's just kissing Devontae to get through the bloody rounds.
I knew she was a savage, and I knew she would probably side with me if I opened up her eyes to it. Because I'm like, if I give you more alliances, if you choose Frank and go down that order, that's better than just Devontae. And she's lethal. You got to watch out for Amanda. Yeah, she's lethal.
No, Amanda goes, right? Yeah, she's a competitor.
Derek, can I ask you, if you were signing up for this show and it was the Squid Games, where if you were knocked out in the contest, you were killed, but the prize money was $10 million, would have you backed yourself to beat everybody at all the contests? Do you think you're the best player in the game outside of the relationships?
Yeah, I think I'm the best reality show competition player in the world today. There's no question. I'll sign up for Squid Games. $10 million. It's on. I'm going, bro.
How much would it take for you to actually, and if there was an actual Squid Game where you do die if you lose, and it's $100 million, would you be in?
Yes, you had me at $1,000, $100 million.
That's the American economy.
You're asking the man if he'd be a murderer, and you're like, it's tough out there. You gotta do it. Derek was always like, we'd have like, there's an episode coming up where you have to swim through fish cuts. I don't know when I went to talk about things, but when these things happened, we were always like, all right, this bad thing, you're gonna have to eat bugs or whatever. Derek was always like, let's go. Everyone else was like shitting themselves. He loved punishment. Loved punishment. So you've jumped off the platform, you grabbed the cord. Now you were up against your boy Brett. Now you and Brett, and for the first time it seemed in this episode, has started to make a bit of alliance, or at least a friendship. And you said that he was physically the best competitor, Brett the boxer.
Yes.
Okay, so was it just like working out every day that did this, or how did that happen?
No, I knew I'm really good at sizing people up. I played college football too, so I'm like really good at seeing who's athletic. I mean, Brett's 6'4", shredded. He's benching that bed every day. I'm like, Jesus, this guy's pretty physical beast. So I knew I saw what the relationship was happening. I saw Devontae flirting with Amanda, and I saw Jack flirting with Mac. So if I take Brett from them, I'm going to separate their whole bro code before it even happened. So I started sinking my teeth in a little bit.
And then you think that okay, so when I watch the episodes, I'm watching them now from a new thing. I only ever saw you guys on the tasks and saw you at the saving ceremony, so I didn't know what was going on right the whole time. I feel like Alyssa and Frankie are getting passes, man. You guys were letting them slip by. You were so worried about the bros and versus the like the you and Jacob and Amanda clique that happened before. Yes. Okay. I'll ask this question. What are your thoughts on Catherine now that you've watched the show? Not as a person, did you know any of the stuff that was going on?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with her TV personality. But like I said, when I was there first day, my strategy was I was going to be a little quiet like I am at the start, and I'm sizing everyone up. I'm gaining all the information I can get. And then I'm like, who's the threats here? And then who I viewed as the threats is who I still view as the threats. I was looking at probably Jack was athletic and super tall. Frankie socially had everyone in the house. I saw him doing their hair. I'm like, oh, he's got half the house. He's a nice guy. Those two people I have to take down. And then so Catherine wasn't really on my radar, but seeing her on the show, she's great. She is great. Oh my God. She's turning against everybody, but she's doing it pretty soon. It's only episode 5, she's getting called out.
That was it when Pastor Jacob actually called her out, and he was telling the truth. And then the boys came up in the episode before and started yelling. There was a look on your face where you just looked at Alyssa and went, no.
Yeah, because I was planting my seeds. I was like, look what's happening. Look who's lying to you. And I was hoping Jacob could come out of it too, but no one gave him a fair shake from the start. Pastor Jacob was thinking chip.
Now, so Derek, are you still in law enforcement now? Like since you're off the show, or you're no longer in it, or how do you get a break like that to go away? Do you go back into the force? What goes on?
Man, I had to really plan that and do it accordingly. Like, so I had enough time off, like PTO. So first I went to my sergeant, then went to the lieutenant, and then the chief. And it was kind of a difficult sell, but just sitting down with them, having a mature conversation, telling them I kind of had some unfinished business I wanted to finish, and I was going to, do it in the right way. They believed in me, and it was the best. So I was able to use my vacation time. I took off for that long, and then I got back and I got right back into it. I got an armed robbery. I got a homicide. It was it was crazy. It's crazy. My world's been spinning.
I wait for the moment when you're questioning a person like, we know you did it. You're like, are you off the snake? Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I know.
We've got all the evidence, baby.
Yeah, they're bringing it up. They're in like interviews that they're like, "Have you seen the snake?"
Do they give you like now that you're out and you go on a big TV show in America? I know I've got a friend and he was a good-looking guy who had like a bit of charm about him, and he got a division posting in the NYPD, which was to look after the celebrities that walked onto Good Morning America, right? And they selected him because they said he's a good-looking guy and he's got a nice smile. And then he ended up marrying Miranda Lambert, the country singer, right?
Oh my God, yes.
Because they met backstage and she was like, I liked the cop that guarded me. And so I heard that the police divisions do find people with a bit of nous and charm and put them in like postings like that. In LA.
What Amos is trying to ask, are you going to get a hot guy role? He seems quite smitten with you.
Dude. Amos is my guy. I'm loving this. I mean, if they're hiring, call me. Somebody. I'll take that
what's
spot.
the easiest? Because I heard in NYPD, that's the glamour posting. In LAPD, is there a version of that? Can you...
That's why I got to investigate. This case starts Monday. I got to start looking into that. Yeah.
Conversely, can you get us some more evidence on the Diddy parties? Go one or the other.
Either way, trajectories taking off.
As a cop, as a detective, have you seen the Epstein list? Does it exist? I know this wasn't what you were interested about. Next, we'll ask you about Israel Palestine, but answer this question first.
No, because that's my thing about Derek. I think you're a sleeper cell agent. They're going to make you famous through reality TV, so you can end up doing some bust on Lisa Vanderpump in 5 years' time.
He's onto us, boys. He's onto us. Get him. He's onto us.
This.
All right. So, saving ceremony. Did it go exactly how you wanted it to go in this episode?
Yes, it went exactly the way I planned it. Devontae pissed me off. I mean, he shook my hand and he swore on his mom and dad's life that he was going to pick me. And I could have, directed it a couple different ways, but he made me mad, so he had to go first. And then by doing that, I was kind of able to break up every single other person's relationships, and I kind of reset the game. And I was happy I did it.
Well, you've done it twice because you had that other time that you saved Jacob, and then you left McLean in the bottom, and you said you got like a double elimination there. You've done now 2 really pivotal moments in the game to eliminate people. Yeah,
definitely. I think, like I was saying, I was trying to play the start a little bit quiet and not really show that I maneuver like that. But like you said, this episode, my back was against the wall. Jacob's gone, Cody's gone, and I'm like, it's do or die. So I got to make it happen, and then I'm just going to show everyone how good I am.
All right. What did your wife think of you on the show? Does she enjoy watching you? Because we know you have a young daughter. You always said on the show that you were trying to win the $100,000 to get a college fund for your kid, right? Which was the best answer. Everyone else had pretty. Some people are like this. I'm going to buy a car, a boat, and help my family and give some to charity. And you're like, college fund for me kids. It made more sense.
She's excited. I mean, she's having fun with me on the show, and it's been fun for the whole family, the PD. Like everyone's just really excited. It's been such a great experience. Thank you, Fox. Thank you, Jim, for having me. It's been really incredible.
Well, yeah, my wife, I think I mentioned this in another podcast, but my wife always takes the piss out of me because at the end of the episodes, I always hold up the medallion and go, "Who wants this?" Like this, and you all go, "Me." Yeah. And so my wife does that with dinner now. Each night she holds up dinner and goes, "Who wants this?"
That's awesome.
Well, look, mate, I loved having you on the show. You're a good guy to hang out with. If you ever want to come to the show in Illinois when I'm there, just hit me up, man. I'd like to hang out with you. It was good seeing you,
We'd love to see you. Good to see you too, Jim. Amos, thanks so much.
I'll see you, Derek.
Yeah, and if I ever get in trouble in the Illinois area with the police, you're the first guy I'm calling.
Yeah, give me a call.
All right, brother.
Give me a call, Jim. All right, man. Good to see you.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm going to be away in Hawaii and Amos is in wherever the fuck he always stays.
I'm in Montreal.
He's in Canada. So we won't be able to record an episode next week. So we are cutting this episode short. We will be doing part 2 of it will be released next Tuesday so that you all still get some at this moment.
Let me take us out with Silvio Berlusconi.
Wednesday. No, because we've also got that Australian politician we want to talk about.
But I want to finish in the wide words of the great Silvio, who says, all of us have a homosexual part of 20% of us, which I also have. Many experts in the Italian science divisions say this. We're all 25% gay. The thing is, I, my fellow Italians, after profound examination and research, have realized that my homosexual part is 100% lesbian.